All right, we are live. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Miscellaneous Millennials. I am Alex Carl. I am your host for the evening, and this is my lovely wife next to me, Emma Carl. She's going to be joining me. This is her first episode joining us on Miscellaneous Millennials. She's normally just a producer, but tonight she's a co-host, and we're going to try to get her hypnotized tonight. So, but before we do that, I would like to say a shout out to our other producer, Aaron Forbes. Thank you very much. And having said that, Emma has an announcement about something that we were doing before, through this week for this podcast. So there you go, Emma.
Okay. Hey guys. As Alex already said, I'm Emma. So we ran a little gift card giveaway throughout the week. If you didn't see it, sorry, but we will probably do another one at some point. So that being said, our winner is Tammy Talbot Bowling. So if you see this, message me. I'll also comment on the post, obviously, and let you know to send me a message so we can send that your way. But she won a $25 Amazon gift card just for sharing the post and inviting some friends. So yay.
All right. Thank you very much, Tammy. We appreciate you. And having said that, tonight, our guest, it's weird since I have a co-host, is J. Robert Parker from the Twin Ravens Hypnotherapy Institute or something, or just Twin Ravens Hypnotherapy?
Twin Ravens Hypnotherapy and Research LLC, if you wanted to be fancy about it.
Ooh, yeah, we like being fancy here. Can't you tell this fancy studio? We're all about fancy.
Thanks for having me on.
Fancy. Yeah, thank you for coming on, man. It's good to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about yourself, what you're going to be doing here tonight with us, with my wife, and, the deets. God, I just said deets. Okay.
Well, like you said, my name's J. Robert Parker. I am the founder of Twin Ravens Hypnotherapy and Research. I am a union certified master hypnotist, and I'm a hypnotherapist. As to what that means, it's both a very simple and very complex answer. I utilize the natural process of hypnosis to alter and improve thoughts and behavior. Hypnosis isn't some strange, unnatural thing. We're actually in hypnosis twice a day. It's 30 minutes before we go to sleep and 30 minutes after we wake up. That kind of strange, like when you first kind of wake up out of sleep, but you're still laying around in bed, and that really comfortable feeling where your thoughts flow really freely. That's hypnosis. Mm-hmm. That is the state that I can voluntarily induce. And what that is you have different parts of your mind. At the very, very bottom, there's what's referred to as your sympathetic nervous system. It's the fight, flight, or freeze mechanism. And above that, you have your subconscious mind, which is made up of associations all throughout your life, be they good or be they bad. And these associations are your life script. They're what mandates your behavior, your decision making, all of that. And at the very top of that, you have your conscious mind. And that's just your logic and reason and willpower. And in between your conscious and subconscious mind, there is something that we refer to as the critical mind. And that is the barrier that holds your subconscious away from your conscious on a daily basis. The times that we are in trance, which can be defined as an increase in theta state in the brain, that critical filter can be removed, and we are capable of speaking directly to the subconscious. And through that, we can alter thoughts, alter behaviors, because all of these things, everything that makes you right now, is a byproduct of everything you've went through, be it good or be it bad. An easy example to give is the clients I have that I work with for smoking cessation, stop smoking. Many times for hypnotherapy, awesome.
For smoking cessation, yeah.
Cool. It's one of the first things that has to be done, because people come to me as like the last resort. They've tried everything.
Mhm.
But they've never addressed the reason that they smoke. And until you address the reason that you started smoking and your subconscious associations behind that, you're always going to eventually go back. Um, any basic hypnotist can make someone stop smoking for a couple days, maybe a couple weeks, but you're always eventually going to go back. And it's kind of the distinct difference between a hypnotist and a hypnotherapist. A hypnotherapist is exactly what it sounds like. There is a therapeutic end to it, and there at least should be a therapeutic education. Unfortunately, and I do like to say this on all the podcasts that I do, uh, hypnotherapy is an unregulated profession.
Mhm.
Therefore, you can go get a weekend class off of Udemy and call yourself a hypnotherapist. I did not do that. I attended a 720-hour college program with an internship, and I got it done the right way. So these things that I speak on, I didn't just take a quick little weekend class. I was very careful to do this the right way because this is hypnosis. It needs to be you need to be educated.
Yeah, well, you're kind of playing around with with
Mhm.
people's underlying thought. What got you to want to be a hypnotherapist? Did you try hypnotherapy? Is it just something you were always interested in?
Nope, neither of those, oddly
Yeah.
enough.
Okay. What
Uh,
was it then?
so, long story short, at the beginning of the pandemic, I was a chef at a resort. And that was kind of, I didn't really figure out what I wanted to do yet. And the pandemic assured me that that wasn't it. So, uh, my partner and I, we both worked at the restaurant. I was a chef, she was a waitress. And so we were both out of work, and I had to figure out something to do. Well, I'd always read tarot cards, kind of for fun. Um, Tarot cards, playing cards, runes, divination's fun. So I started doing that professionally. I signed up to a couple of online services, and
Sorry about that.
that that
Oh,
was
we
very
lost
good money.
we lost our fourth viewer.
But I found that the more I did that, I uh, I wasn't so much reading people's fortunes, so to speak. I was more using the archetypes of the tarot cards as like a universal representation of the human experience to reframe people's problems to them and kind of try to help them actually work through something. And I had success doing that, and I felt good doing that. And I got to thinking, what's a way that I could do this kind of only? And I've only ever had passing interest in hypnosis. Like I still keep these on my desk. I had a deck of hypnosis playing cards that I ordered, and like that was funny because I can do card magic, and I thought that was neat. And because of that, the algorithm got the scent that I liked hypnosis at some point.
Of course.
So, in the process of me kind of trying to figure out what to do, and by this point, I'd become a little discontent with reading cards. It was just very repetitive for the most part. A whole lot of my husband's been cheating on me for 15 years. Is he going to stop? Uh,
Mhm.
the answer is no. By the
Probably
way,
not.
if
Yeah,
anyone was curious, yeah,
I don't need tarot cards to tell you that.
uh-uh.
He's not going to stop.
No, real easy. Uh, and at some point, this specialized college for hypnotherapy popped up. And I did not know that existed, but
Mhm.
there exists a college. It's called HMI College of Hypnotherapy. It is fully accredited by the Department of Education.
Wow.
And yeah,
Very cool.
it's they popped up on my feed, and I just decided that sounds kind of interesting. I'll schedule a talk with them. And I almost canceled because because of the way I am, if I sit there and think about something for long enough, I'm generally going to think of a reason to not do it. No, it is. That's the emo in you, by the way. I saw the way you reacted to that, Emma. That test I had you take. I'll talk about that a little bit. I'm the same way. It's totally your suggestibility. That is that. But so we talked a little bit, and the thing that kind of sold me that he dangled in front of me was handwriting analysis. Part of the internship was they taught an extensive program on handwriting analysis. And the first month is free. Well, 101 of all of the course is free. And anyone can take it. And whether or not you want to continue the program after that, they give you the option. And they even set you up with financial aid and all of that stuff. And I got to put myself in student debt over this. It was fantastic. But anyway, so I gave it a shot because my only previous interest with hypnosis, other than these cards, were I have this book from like 1907 that is on hypnosis, and in retrospect is hot garbage, but it's interesting nonetheless.
Well, that's kind of what I've always wondered, is because I mean, I know growing up, I always felt most people's view on hypnosis was, oh, that's a bunch of bullshit. I mean, I grew up in the 90s, so I heard, oh, use hypnosis, stop smoking and shit like that. It's like, well, they also used to use like heroin to cure morphine addiction. So it's like weird, like I mean, this shit kind of changes. But from what I understand more recently, especially with like they've been doing a lot of research with like using psychedelic drugs and therapy and stuff like that. I mean, the psychiatrists that I see, they use ketamine, for to do that. So it's kind of cool to see this this like shift in how people are trying to understand the mind better, and it's completely possible. I mean, if you get these these nasal treatments of ketamine, it's apparently helping thousands of people worldwide, and they're trying to use psilocybin and do the same kind of thing. So why can't you try to unlock, I mean, you're basically playing with the mind like a Rubik's cube, you're just trying to solve that puzzle.
My favorite thing to use in anything I do is my research. I have this massive collection. It's not my personal research, but it is the accumulation of research on a massive rainbow of subjects.
Oh, right. Well, it's standing on the shoulders of giants. I mean, that's how it works. You stand on that, and you can reach farther. That's
the odd thing too. Is there's a reason the 90s had that kind of weird view on hypnosis. Hypnosis has had some really bad luck in history taking off.
Well, yeah. Well, everybody thinks of like the dude with like the pocket watch, swinging it back and forth. Fucking you're getting sleepy. Oh, please tell me you got one of those. That would be hysterical.
I absolutely do.
You're getting sleepy. Right, exactly. Yes. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's the stereotypical.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, just to kind of give a really brief synopsis of hypnosis's poor journey. It started in the mid 1700s, really, with this man named Franz Mesmer.
Mesmerize.
Yes, of that exact. Yes. Yeah. Well, Mesmer's a weird person because he claimed basically to have superpowers, but all he was using was hypnosis, and so he was painted as a charlatan for a little while. But in retrospect, we know that what he was doing was actually working. People of the time spoke about it. It's just not what he said it was, but he had no way to know that it wasn't what he said he was.
It's the 1700s. Fuck.
It was the fucking 1700s. He has this kooky idea and he's getting results. So, but
Mesmer, a lot of kooky ideas in the 1700s.
Yeah. Mesmer kind of got relegated to a weird part of history because of that. And Sigmund Freud kind of found hypnosis to be distasteful, and there was
he was also a cokehead, so I mean,
yeah, exactly.
He was addicted to cocaine. So
there's an unfortunate amount of time that Freud had way too much sway over the community. And the final roadblock that we had to overcome came in the 1980s, which is why I say the 90s had a weird opinion on it.
I know.
Because
I saw it. Yeah. Ooh.
during the whole satanic panic thing that happened in the 80s, hypnotists were used to extract and alter memories from these allegedly abused children.
Mm.
And they used hypnotic suggestion to move their memories towards abuse. Like, I can't implant a false memory into you, but if I slowly kind of turned your perception to another thing, and that's all I really do. I change your perception. So that could absolutely be done. And after the dust settled on that one, it was known that the hypnotist involved absolutely did alter the testimony on this. And the malleability of memory is the reason to this day you can't use hypnotically extracted testimony in court.
Memory is so shoddy. I mean, there could be two people, there would be two people who witnessed the same event from the exact same viewpoint, and they'll have completely different memories of it. I mean, I swear all the time, my wife will be like, I asked you to take out the trash. And I'm like, I don't remember you saying that. So like, it makes sense. Yeah.
That's why. That too. Witness testimony is one of the worst forms of testimony that you can get.
Yeah,
like,
I truly believe that. Well, that's why DNA and video recording is so, is game changing to
well,
even
DNA is coming out is like
as not as reliable.
A little, so there's
because we're always learning new shit about this.
You have to remember that 100 years ago, phrenology was still considered the height of forensic science.
Dude,
like
100 years ago, we barely had cars. I mean, dude, it was the 1920s. We still had cars that you had to start with a crank. Like, I mean, 100 years ago, dude, 200 years ago, which was like 4 people. Like, it's like your like great grandparents. They came over here on boats, not knowing shit. Like, they were like, well, I heard there's somebody in Philadelphia I can go talk to. Like, I don't fucking know. Like,
I'm gonna go take a month-long trip across the ocean because someone said there might be work.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Shit.
There might be some railroads being built over there.
Yeah, but it's. Go ahead.
No. We're here to hear you. Yes, you say what you were.
I said go ahead because I immediately had a brain fart. So y'all go ahead.
Oh, you're good. I've been having brain farts all night. Emma, do you have any questions about this? Because you're going to be the one that's going to attempt to be hypnotized. The only reason I say attempt is my wife is very fucking stubborn. So, so do you have any questions, Emma? Is there anything that you want to know? Before,
that's probably something that I should have thought about beforehand, and I really didn't.
Well,
think about it now.
Let me kind of put a couple of things out there. First of all, we're not going to be doing anything in depth. We talked about that before the show. This is just going to be a fun demonstration.
Awesome.
I'm just going to do an induction, do some deepeners, and give you some basic affirmation suggestions for well-being, motivation, whatever have you.
I love that.
And take you back out. We're not going to touch on anything important or deep. Like, it's simply just a demonstration.
Awesome.
And also, I had talked about your suggestibility, and you took that test.
Yeah, I was curious to hear about what all that stuff meant with the test.
Yes. Let me kind of explain what that means. First of all, there's 2 different systems that I use for that. You took the suggestibility test. There's also a behavior test. That's not really for our purposes right now. So you tested emotional. And what that means is someone who is emotionally suggestible, they are going to be somebody that tends to need to be in control of the situation. They will not take a direct order. You have to be inferential with suggestions. As you will note, I'm not going to ever tell you to do anything. Everything you do, you're going to do. There is also the literal, when I say inferential, that is actually how you have to speak. A physical, which Alex is, I would be willing to bet, can be spoken to more literally. you can tell them directly to do things.
I have to be. You got to talk to me direct. Yeah.
Yep. Or else you don't understand it. And you probably hate
Bingo.
metaphor. You hate stories that dance around the subject.
Maybe. I am a writer, so I do like metaphor
Well,
somewhat, but not when it comes to orders. Yeah.
Exactly. That's the thing. That's you like metaphor in your expression.
Yes.
And that's where we go to the fun aspect of for an emotional, you must speak to them inferentially, but they will speak literally. A physical, you must speak to literally, but they will speak to you inferentially.
Oh, Jesus.
So,
yeah.
That makes perfect sense, actually.
No, this is marriage counseling on Miscellaneous Millennials. Okay.
Well, actually, funny that you say that. If you want to get into the marriage counseling, we'll talk about the behavior end because I actually do work with relationships.
Lord. How about we hypnotize my wife first, get her in a good mood, and then we'll talk about the relationship stuff.
So, the way that we express ourselves is mandated by our behavioral EMP score. And one of the reasons that we develop problems in a relationship is that we don't realize that we don't speak the same language and that things that are important to us are not going to be what's important to our partner because opposites will always attract. And emo will almost always end up with a fizz.
So my wife has talked to me before in the past about like a love language kind of thing. Is that kind of what you're talking about?
But to an even more extreme, because it's not just love. This is the language that you speak to the world. This is you.
Okay, right.
So, an example would be to a physical. It is what it sounds like. They are a very physical person. They're outgoing. They will put their physical self forward to guard their emotional self. And to that person, the physical affirmation of love is the most important thing. Be it sex or physical contact, physical affection. On the other spectrum of that, you have the emotional partner who sex is not as important a thing. And if not sex, then physical affirmation of it. To them, the mental connection is what defines the relationship. And that's where the problems start because a physical partner will begin to believe that they're being rejected because to them, a denial of physical affection is a tacit rejection. But to the emotional partner, that's just kind of not what they think about. And that's where I come in because once you know the rules of the game, because that's what all of this is. Everything that I deal with is a game that no one knows the rules to yet. This whole hypnotic and behavioral end. So once you tell the physical partner that this isn't your partner rejecting you, this is just not how they think. And you tell the emotional partner that this is how your partner thinks. So maybe try to extend that physical attention more. So it's just explaining the rules. And that's what hypnosis is, or hypnotherapy, I should say.
Right.
A lot of hypnotherapy is me explaining these rules, this game that you are submitted to every day. Because as I said, hypnosis is a natural part of everyday life. And as you become acclimated to the state, you notice it more and more. It's everything. It's advertising, marketing, politics, religion, anything at all.
So I just had a random thought question that popped in my head. Does like hypnosis in any way have to do with like lucid dreaming? Like, I mean, would that have like, because I notice I'm able to lucid dream quite a bit, but like, it's like when I'm very aware that I'm getting into that state right before REM sleep. And I know that you said that, you know, that we achieve that level of hypnosis, twice a day. And so, I mean, it's usually right, you know, at night after I go to bed, and it's pretty much, I mean, at least it feels like it's right after I've gone to sleep. So if you said that a hypnotic state is achieved right before we go to sleep, then like, is there any connection there?
Yeah, absolutely. That's deep hypnosis.
Oh, okay.
It's hypnosis and sleep are similar, but they are not the same at all.
Right. Okay.
And the best way to explain it is Sleep is a resting state, but it is not necessarily a learning state.
Okay.
Hypnosis and trance is a learning state, but it's
Okay.
not a resting
A
state.
resting state. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
that makes sense.
restful. It's very relaxing, but you
Mhm.
don't actually regenerate anything in that
Okay.
state.
Okay.
Like, so if
Okay.
hypnosis is a learning
Yeah.
state, can you hypnotize me and then play my nursing school lectures for me, and I might actually remember things?
Yes.
Oh, God
I can
damn.
actually I can actually part of the thing we do today, I can make you more capable of retaining your lessons. That's a simple
please.
thing. Yeah, absolutely.
I have
Do
to
that,
really
and I
PhD
guarantee
in-
you we'll get you some clientele. Okay.
Oh no, that's
I
easy.
She's in
know
nursing
multiple
school.
nursing students that would love that, I'm sure.
Oh no, that's basic stuff. Academic work is I do self-hypnosis all the time to
So
what?
so it's kind of like in the Matrix when like he's I know kung fu. Like, can you just do that? Like, can you just teach me like jujitsu?
No, but I can make you more inclined to
More
focus
susceptible
on that.
to focus. Yeah. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Okay. Because everything here's a really freaky question I like to ask everyone.
Mhm. We like
and I
freaky
already
here on
have-
Miscellaneous Millennials, so it's okay.
You have free will.
Mhm.
Right?
Do you? Do you
Do
have
you?
free will?
I don't know yet. That's a philosophical
Emma?
question that's very deep.
Do I have free will? Yes and no.
Everyone says that. Okay.
Mm,
Let me
that's
explain.
lame. Lame answer.
The
Lame
answer is no. Everything about you, as I said, is association. Everything you think, everything you do, everything about the way you are. What's a food you don't like, Emma?
Liver and onions.
Liver. Did you choose not to like that? Did you make the choice?
Damn.
I
He
mean,
got you, babe.
I tasted it and it was gross.
But you made that determination. You made that choice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but that wasn't a choice. She just made that. She came to that conclusion. It wasn't a choice.
Yeah.
She just came to that
Therefore,
conclusion.
it's an association.
Yeah. Damn.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Okay.
Even if you wanted to like them, you have made that association. And that goes everywhere. Everywhere in life. Everything.
Because the things that we like and don't like, we don't choose to like them or not like them. They're just okay. Yeah. Wow. Oh,
Association.
I'm not stoned enough for this. God damn.
Here's the wild part. I can give you free will. You can make the conscious choice to think a certain way, that you want to think a certain way, that you want to behave a certain way, apropos of your associations.
But is that free will if you guide her to that? If you
yes, because you made that choice that you want to think that way. So you consciously altered your behavior. You customized your mindset.
But is she consciously altering it, or are you? And is that free will?
Here's a funny thing. Among hypnotists, we have a saying that all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. You're
allowing
am
yourself
not doing anything to you. I am guiding that process. Like I mentioned self-hypnosis, and it's absolutely a thing. It is different than what we refer to as heterohypnosis in that it is easier to guide from the outside than it is from the inside. And I'm trying to think of the best way to explain this. Sorry, I don't want to have too much dead time. I got off onto pondering the fineries of this, but
I'm very interested in this. This is super fascinating.
Let's say you decide that you want to like liver and onions. You have overridden that thing you have not made a choice about. And in that, you've made that freedom, that is exercising true free will, because you changed your associations. You didn't have to relearn anything. You simply thought of something differently. The first profound experience I had with hypnosis that really made me pay attention to it was I was taught self-hypnosis. And
Mhm.
I'm very scientific in my mindset. So my first thought is
Perfect.
cool.
I feel like that's what you should be in this.
Uh,
Yeah. Mhm.
let's play with it. So I decided that I wanted to wake up a little earlier, be more motivated. So before I went to bed, and there's different schools of thought that say if you should self-hypnotize before bed or if you should do it when you wake up or whatever have you. I like to do it before bed. And I just gave myself, as I said, suggestions to be more motivated. And the first night, not much really happened, which I later learned is because I'm a high emotional. I'm a very high emotional. I'm so high emotional that I'm a different suggestibility type that has to be hypnotized differently. But but the second day, I didn't really even think of anything, but around 8:30 in the morning, I realized that I'd already been up, and for some reason I was cleaning the house and coming up with all these ideas for things that I needed to do for the business, and I stopped myself and realized that I never even it wasn't a decision. It wasn't like I had like some programming click on, like I have to get up now. It was just a natural thing because the question has to be asked, why do you do anything that you do?
Mhm.
Because of association, because of what
Right.
is I'm going to pull out a fancy word now. We call it homeostasis.
Mhm.
Yes.
And
Heard that right?
yeah, you would be familiar if you're a
Mhm.
nurse.
Balance in our bodies.
Yes, and homeostasis exists outside of the body as well. Homeostasis exists in your subconscious as well. And your subconscious mind's primary drive, what its number one goal is to maintain that homeostasis, your normal at all costs. That includes staying in abusive relationships. That includes not moving forward with your life. Because until you elevate that homeostasis, your subconscious is comfortable in that place. Because to your subconscious, pain and pleasure mean different things. To your subconscious, pain is the unknown, pain is change. And to it, pleasure is what is familiar. That's why we will stay with harmful habits and people and situations, even though we consciously know it's harming us and we're unable to get out of it. It's because subconsciously we want to stay there because our subconscious is comfortable and it will absolutely sabotage us at every single turn to make sure that homeostasis is maintained.
Okay. So how do we start this process of hypnotizing my wife? Also, I have a question. Can I like can I like program in her like to like say like a phrase or something if like I like snap my fingers? Like can I be like
No.
snap and she's like caw
I don't
caw?
consent
Like
to this. I don't consent
okay,
to this.
So
it's fine. We don't
the
have to do
way
it. I'm
that
just saying. I
what you're
wouldn't do it
referring to, we
excessively. I'm
call
just
anchor
wondering.
or post hypnotic suggestions.
Uh-huh.
And to program in vocalization would be very difficult
Mm-hmm.
because
Probably
speech
unethical, I would
is
guess.
a conscious process of the higher mind
Okay.
and is therefore anathema towards hypnosis.
Mm-hmm.
Anchors are more commonly used. Well, for example, my favorite thing to do with an anchor is I use our most powerful sense memory. I use smell.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all have things that we smell from our childhood that even
Oh
now
God,
will
yeah. I
immediately
still.
take us
Yep.
back.
Mm-hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
remember everything
Yep.
vividly.
Yep.
I can do that same thing to the state that I induce in hypnosis.
So it's just real quick random question. Is sound the second one? Audio has to be the second one, right? I mean, because that's
audio
what
works
it's like
pretty
Audio
well.
is fine.
smell.
Um,
I mean, because I hear stuff from my
Yeah.
childhood, and I'm like, "Ooh," and it's just
Well,
as. I mean, it's just
and
as
that
strong
also
as scent as smell.
beyond smell, it's actually individual because
Really?
there's
Oh,
some
okay.
people that will remember hearing things better. Some people will remember the way something felt better.
Something tastes.
I feel
stuff
mine's
like that.
feeling a lot. It's a
Okay.
Yes. Again, that's because you're emotional and you're physical. A
Wow.
physical will get much more vivid sensory recall. I have some clients who are high physicals that I can literally take on a trip. Like, if you want to go to Mars, we could go. But
I'm down for that shit.
emotionals, well,
I'm down for that shit.
emotionals, it's a different thing. Speaking for me personally, as I said, I'm a very high emotional. I rank 82 on that scale. And I don't see anything. Very rarely. Sometimes I'll get some visuals, like some flashes, but I don't see anything. But
You haven't taken enough acid. I never taken enough acid.
No comment.
It's okay. We're fine here. Well, maybe you're representing the company, so no comment. No, of course not.
But I will feel tactily so extremely. Like when I'm told to walk down a staircase, which is something that you will experience today, I can feel myself walk down the staircase. I could get intense sensations. I can get emotions. One of the things that is interesting to me is the wandering, because emotionals, especially, your mind just goes, and it doesn't go anywhere. Because think about that period before waking. Think about the way that your mind acts in that period. It's not guided. You couldn't really guide your thoughts if you wanted to. They're just drifting around. That's the same thing.
You're like in a room with 1,000 TVs around you, all doing different things that never.
Like it's in the Matrix. It's literally in the third Matrix.
Focus on one of them.
Right, it's literally in the third
of
Matrix.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You get little glimpses as you go, but you don't really
Okay.
in on anything.
All right. Okay. So I gotta rein this in a little bit.
Those TVs made me feel.
Right. Okay. So I gotta rein this in a little bit. So what do we have to do to get this underway with hypnotizing my wife? What do we gotta do?
Nothing. Just
nothing. All right, cool. Well, because she already took the test. Okay. Is
for
there
now,
anything else we need to know, or like?
No. All I need is for Alex.
Should I drop my visual?
Yep. You don't have to drop your visual. You can drop your mic. Just because there we go. And Emma, all I need you to do is just get in a comfortable position, however you want. And here for a moment, all you need to do is just focus on your breathing. Just deep to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Make sure each breath in lasts as long as the breath out, and each breath out lasts as long as the one before. And here in a moment, you may begin to feel some physiological changes begin to take place. The first change you may begin to notice is a tendency for the breathing to begin to deepen as the body needs more oxygen. And whenever you begin to feel this, simply nod your head. Excellent. Keep breathing. The next thing you may begin to notice is a tendency for your eyes to move behind your eyelids, a little back and forth motion. And when you begin to notice this, simply nod your head. Excellent. The last thing you may begin to notice is a tendency to want to swallow, maybe with the mouth, feel a little dry. When you notice this, simply nod your head. Excellent. Now then, I would like you to picture yourself at the top of the stairwell. It can look however you want it to look. It is always well lit. It's always secure. And this stairwell has 20 steps going down. And we're going to walk down that stairwell. Each step you take, you may notice that you go twice as deep into the state of hypnosis. And when you reach the bottom, you get the peak of your suggestibility. And now you take a step down, starting at 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 13, 12, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Deep sleep. Each and every time I say the words to you, deep sleep, for the purposes of hypnosis and with your permission, you will allow yourself to return to this state or even deeper. Your physical body will relax. Now, in the same way that you picture that stairwell, I would like you to envision in your mind's eye a clock, much like you would see in a classroom or at work, that familiar white clock with black hands. You envision all 12 numbers going around in a circle. And as I call out each number, simply look at that clock from behind your closed eyes, starting with the number 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 3, 7, 1, 6, 12, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Deep sleep. Each and every time I say the words to you, deep sleep, for purposes of hypnosis, and with your permission, you return to this state or even deeper. Your physical body will relax. Now, here in this state, I want you to simply notice the physical relaxation of your body and the clarity of your thoughts as they drift around your head. Maybe you find yourself in a room with 1,000 televisions, each with a different picture on it, each giving a different possibility, a different path, a different choice. And somewhere on that wall of television is the choice that you want to make, the choice to dedicate yourself to your study, the choice to excel at whatever you choose to do, and the focus that you need to do that. And as you focus in on that one screen that is exactly what you want, allowing each of the hundreds upon hundreds of other screens to simply go black until there is only the possibility and path that you choose. And as you choose this path, you may begin to find, as time goes on, that you you awake each day more and more focused, more and more motivated to continue your studies and to excel. And that each day you go about your studies, that only renews your enthusiasm and the direction that you've chosen to go in life because you know that you've made the right decision. Now, as you let this one screen that you've chosen to focus on fade away, I would like you to take with you that determination to keep in your subconscious mind every day that you go about your life, reinforcing it every day that you wake up. Now, here in a moment, I'm going to count you up and out of hypnosis, counting from 0 up to 5, with 5 coming up fully wide awake and alert. Before I do, I'd like you to remind yourself to take with you all of the lessons that you've learned, all of the things that you've seen and experienced. And starting at 0, there's always the tendency to go a little bit deeper. And that 1, slowly closing the door to the subconscious mind. 2, taking a deep cleansing breath in, and letting it out at 3 as you become more aware of the thoughts in your head. 4, more aware of your physical world. And 5, eyes open, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eyes open, wide awake. How you feel?
Good.
So what was
was-
that like, baby? Describe it, please, quickly while it's fresh on your mind.
Yeah, no. So I felt still like aware of the world around me. Like I know I opened my eyes and looked around a few times. I heard you come upstairs and all of that. But like I felt the only other way I know how to explain it is like how I feel when I go to a yoga studio and do like a really good yoga class where I just have that absolute sense of relaxation where like the weight of everything in the world like isn't there. Like if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Like it's I get it, that subconscious level, that absolute just me and my calm and not the thousand other thoughts.
Okay.
Like
Okay. So Emma, do you consider that you were hypnotized? Because I know that you were like, maybe somebody's
but
tried to
what does that
hypnotize
mean?
me before.
so
Well,
I mean,
yes.
but I've never experienced that before. But I mean, I
Okay.
think
Well,
there was definitely something different to that. Yeah. I mean,
okay.
especially
There you go.
listening to him. So listening to him explain like what hypnotherapy is, because like I wasn't really fully aware of all of it
Mhm.
before.
Well, the difference between hypnosis and hypnotherapy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I
Hypnotize and
definitely
hypnotherapy.
talking about the subconscious and like yes, I think that it definitely made sense. It was really interesting.
Mhm.
Honestly, I don't know. I didn't really know fully what to expect, but yeah, it was very
See,
cool.
now I wish it was done to me, man, dude. So I was always I love those. I love tinkering around with my subconscious and stuff like that. Like I love that tinkering. I have taken a large amount of psychedelic drugs in my day to try. I'm 31. I don't do it anymore, but like I used to take a lot of LSD and mushrooms and
think most of
MDMA
them
and
did.
stuff to. Well, but I mean, I took an unusually large amount of them, like just to try to tinker around with my subconscious
Right.
because I was like, dude, I know you can mess with it. This is just like a
Well-
car engine. Like, yeah, you can fix it.
Hypnosis is an altered state.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Wow. It's a great
and-
movie, by the way. But yeah.
I love that movie. That's so
Oh,
cool.
fantastic. You're one of the only people I know that's actually seen that movie. It's an amazing
Altered
movie.
States, Layer of the White Worm, all those old
no,
like
what was the one? 1,000 Motels. That was it, right? Frank Zappa. 10,000. Was
yeah,
it 10,000
yeah.
motels or 1,000?
I
It
think
was
it
just
was
one of those
1,000.
trippy things. Yeah, I think it was 1,000 motels. Yeah, man. Trippy
But,
stuff.
That what Emma went through today, we didn't go terribly deep.
Right.
There are several levels of hypnosis.
Mhm.
At the surface level, there is the relaxation, there is the calm. At the deepest level, you can do surgery on people.
Like physical surgery?
Physical surgery. And Emma,
so
since you're a
like
nurse,
you could cut out somebody's
That's
fucking appendix.
Really interesting.
absolutely.
You could cut
look up
out. Now I've heard of
hypnoanesthesia.
it.
It's called
I've heard of that.
hypnoanesthesia.
I've heard of that, and then I think I've seen it on some television shows where like they had somebody do it, and like the dude just like woke up, was just screaming though. But that was a television show.
Alex, I couldn't hear what he was saying. What's it called?
Hypnoanesthesia.
Okay.
And it can only be done with a small amount of the population. You have to be well trained in the hypnotic state. Like not the hypnotist, but the patient undergoing the surgery has to be well acclimated with the state. And they have to be capable of something called stage 3 somnambulism, which is the deepest level you can go with hypnosis. There is about 80 to 100% hypnotic amnesia in that state. And it is linked to a total disconnect with the physical body. It's referred to as a psychosomatic disconnect. And go ahead. Yeah.
So I'm curious, just because I mean, obviously, I know we were on a very shallow level. Are there certain people you think that are more or less like susceptible? Not susceptible. That's the wrong word. Like,
well, no, susceptible. That's the right word. Yeah, susceptible. Yeah.
Yes.
Right word.
Therapy.
That's the right word.
On that suggestibility scale, in the dead middle 50-50 range, you encounter a new suggestibility, which is something called a somnambulist. And it is not related to the stages of somnambulism in hypnosis, but they are the people that it's about 5 to 10% of the population. And they are so hypnotically suggestible, some of them walk around in trance. They are the reason stage hypnosis even exists.
Okay, so is that like is there some level of like hypnosis with like television? Like, I mean, is there some level of hypnosis when we're sitting watching Netflix for hours at a time? I mean, so if there's a small percentage of the population that is, dude, when I'm sitting there watching The Boys on Amazon, I'm
love that show.
Oh, it's a fucking great
show. I love that show.
Oh, fucking fantastic. I can't wait for season 3, man, dude.
Oh my God. Oh, the ending of season 2 was so
Jesus. Oh, Jesus. I love how I just love how bloody violent it is for this superhero show.
I'm very rarely get into a show, but like I love The Boys so much.
Have you watched Harley Quinn?
I refuse.
The cartoon.
No, don't refuse. No, dude, Harley Quinn is fantastic. It is. So they actually did a really good job in creating a female-led superhero show. It's really good. So because like we're so used to like Captain Marvel, Wonder Woman.
Did you know that feeling
fantastic
of when you go to the dentist and they like they nick your gum while they're trying to drill on your teeth? That's the feeling that Harley Quinn gives my brain.
What are you talking about, dude? Okay, now see, I grew up. I learned. Harley Quinn was created with my generation.
Batman the animated series. I know.
Yes, of course, right, dude. Harley Quinn. She's
Well,
sexy. She's a
hated her then,
badass.
too.
Oh well, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, then nope. You're demoted to Gen Xer. You're not a millennial anymore. You're demoted to Gen Xer.
I hate people from the Bronx. I fight me about it. Like her accent is the worst.
It is really annoying.
Now the new Suicide Squad, they downplay her, and it's good.
I love the new Suicide Squad.
She's annoying.
Weasel is my shit.
Oh, dude, Weasel was awesome in that. Oh my god, dude! I wish he had more of a role than just at the very beginning and the end.
I'm just glad they didn't kill him.
Well, if you didn't watch it all the way through, they killed him. But
yeah. So there's hypnosis is often in media. In movies and all that. Mm-hmm. I can actually point you to a single movie that shows hypnosis from a realistic standpoint. Okay, and it is
I'm a cinephile,
movie from 1949 with Orson
know it.
Welles
I don't know
called
it.
Black Magic.
Oh,
And
Oh, okay. Well, my wife
Yeah,
knows it. That's
have you
amazing.
seen that?
because I'm the cinephile.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The method that they show his character use,
mm-hmm.
like the tech, like they showed it in school, and they went through scene by scene and showed us how they're actually utilizing a proper hypnotic modality and
Wow.
what he's doing. Like that part in the beginning, or close to the beginning, where that woman drinks the lamp oil
Mm-hmm.
and he immediately grabs her head. And the first thing he says is, "It's powerful. I know." That's an acknowledgement of truth. A lot of hypnosis is acknowledgement of objective truth, as in when I went over your breathing and how your eyes felt. You say something that can be verified, and then he slowly talks her down. You simply drank too much. You would feel it now, simply calming away, and she calms down, and before she can even say anything, shoves her back in the crowd. If you ever want to see hypnotic technique on display to the most obnoxious, gaudy degree possible, watch Faith Healing.
Oh,
Faith Healing is nothing but
Okay.
shock induction hypnosis.
Not surprised by that.
shock induction. What do you mean by shock induction? Like
Shock induction.
boom in your face. I've got these snakes that are fucking gonna.
Huh?
Is that what you're talking about?
Shock induction is basically pulling the rug out from someone's subconscious.
Okay. Mhm.
I cannot demonstrate any shock induction techniques.
Oh well, no.
in
Okay.
existence.
So what about like
Uh,
like a cult or something like what like the Branch Davidians or something like that, or any of those shock induction, like any of like the
I
classic.
don't know. That's just hypnotic suggestion. That's
Oh, okay.
It
Oh, that's
still
basic.
implies
Oh, that's basic shit. Okay. Okay.
hypnotic suggestion is very easy.
Okay.
You can see it at play every single day. Look around. Anyone that believes everything that they just can't understand.
Right. So
they were
so like the
told.
Manson, the Manson shit, like Charles Manson, like his people, that was just hypnotic suggestion. Is that what you're saying?
Was, but
Well, I mean, there
he
was also LSD, CIA experimentation, but yeah,
and that's the thing. Whenever LSD is employed, and we know this because of the MK Ultra experiments.
Yeah, well, that was under MK Ultra. The
hypnosis
was, yeah.
Well, Project Bluebird specifically,
Mhm.
but when LSD is employed, hypnotic suggestion can be ramped up to 11.
Okay, really? Quick. Okay, yeah. That doesn't surprise me. So why is that? I mean, is it? I mean, obviously it's the chemical LSD, but like, I mean, what do those specific chemicals that they do on your, you know, your spinal column? I mean,
they overload you.
How is that?
Hypnosis
so it overloads it. Okay.
Hypnosis and anxiety are brought about by the same process. Only instead of going into fight or flight,
they seem like total opposites. Yeah,
it's the parasympathetic nervous system, like he was saying earlier.
And that's the thing. It's the difference between slipping into the sympathetic nervous system and going into fight flight, or going into the parasympathetic nervous system, which is your body's cool down phase. Hypnosis just engages the parasympathetic instead of the sympathetic. There are ways I could hypnotize Emma specifically, and you less so, Alex, that feels like an anxiety attack. It's the way you have to hypnotize me. Like I said, you have to use a specialized thing to do. The way you have to do me, like my hands were shaking, my breathing was speeding up, and then there was the release, and I immediately dropped deep into the state. And that's just my weird suggestibility type.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we are reaching about an hour into this, so I feel like that's probably a pretty good amount of time. Do you have any final thoughts, Jay? I'll call you Jay now. There we go, because we're in conversation, so we were talking about that at the beginning. Do you have any final thoughts?
No, just if anyone wants to get a hold of me, I'm very easy to get a hold of. Just
Please,
go to my website.
Plug your stuff. Yes.
www.twinravens.org. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Twin Ravens Hypno. Or you could just get a hold of me directly at jrobertparker@protonmail.com. If anyone has any questions, there's more they would like to know about what I do, feel free to ask. If you go to my website, I have hours of interviews of me answering questions and things like that. So
Very cool.
there you go. I'd be happy to hear from anyone.
I am going to absolutely have you on again. I have so many
I'd be
more
glad to be on.
questions that we just do not have time to get under tonight. I have so many questions, bro. Emma, is there anything that you want to say before we sign off here, before I do our final greetings and all that?
Yeah, I mean, just thank you. That was a really cool experience.
Yeah, this was fun.
It's been very interesting to hear all about this. It's something that I'm not at all even close to well versed on. And just as somebody, honestly, in the healthcare field in general, it's really fascinating. I love the mental health field. That's kind of where.
If you want, I can send you my research articles. I keep about 400.
Yeah,
some
she'd
odd
love
pages of
that
research
shit.
articles.
I will send
She'd
you
love
my
that
email
shit.
address.
Okay.
I'll send you my email address after that. That'd be great. But yeah,
Yep.
no, this has been really cool. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody, I had a blast tonight. I love this. It was very awesome. I loved having my wife in here. My wife in here. I loved having J. Robert Parker. I don't know why you have too many fucking syllables in your name. It fucks with me.
You have three
once
first
again,
names. I don't want to.
okay, I know I have 3 first names, but they're fucking like one syllable. Well, no, Alex, John, Carl. Okay, it's like 5 syllables total. Fuck you. All right. I had a blast tonight. Once again, this is Miscellaneous Millennials. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Alex Carl Comedy on TikTok and Instagram. We love you guys. Thank you. Thank you so much to our guest, J. Robert Parker, and the Twin Ravens Hypnotherapy. And Emma, of course. We love you guys. Thank you all for joining us. We love y'all. Have a good night. Stay stoned. Stay happy. Just have a good time, y'all. Don't hate on anybody. All right. Everybody say goodbye. Bye.